There is a unique and quiet ache that is perhaps the loneliest feeling in the world. It is not the ache of being alone in an empty house, but the ache of being in a full one, surrounded by the very people who are meant to know you best, and feeling utterly and completely invisible. It is the feeling of being a ghost at your own family dinner. You are there, a body in a chair, your hands resting on the table. You can feel the warmth of the plate, hear the clinking of silverware, see the familiar faces moving and talking. And yet, it's as if you are behind a pane of glass. Your words, when you offer them, seem to evaporate before they can land. You ask a question, and the conversation simply flows around it, like a river parting for a stone, leaving you untouched and unanswered on the other side. Laughter erupts about a shared memory you were also present for, yet no one looks to you to share in the joy. You are a witness to a life you are supposed to be a part of. This is not the loud pain of a fight or the sharp sting of a cruel word. It is the hollow, echoing silence of not mattering, of your presence being as thin as air. And the deepest, most confusing part of it all is that you are right there. You are not absent. You are simply unseen. Before we drift deeper into this space together, let's take just a quiet moment. If you feel comfortable, you might take a moment to write in the comments which part of this world you're listening from right now, and what time it is where you are. I'm curious. Are you listening in the deep quiet of the late night, or perhaps in the sacred early morning hours when sleep just hasn't come yet? There is no need for a long story, unless you wish to share one. Just a word or two to mark your presence here. A quiet signal from your corner of the world to ours. It's a way of saying, I am here. And then, just settle in. Because this time right now, as you lie here in the dark, is entirely yours. It is a space carved out of the universe just for you. So let yourself arrive fully in this moment. Allow your body to become heavy, to be held completely by the surface beneath you. Feel the gentle pull of gravity as a comforting, grounding presence. Notice the tension you might be holding in your shoulders. The tension of trying to hold yourself up, to be noticed, to have a shape that someone might see. And just for tonight, give yourself permission to let it go. Let your shoulders soften and fall away from your ears. Notice the tightness in your jaw, the place where unspoken words are held, where the effort of smiling when you feel unseen is stored. Allow your jaw to unclench. Let your tongue rest gently in your mouth. Let the muscles around your eyes relax, releasing the strain of watching, of waiting for a glance of recognition that rarely comes. For so long, you have been trying to find the right words, the right tone, the right moment to insert yourself, trying to be interesting enough, or funny enough, or helpful enough to warrant a moment of genuine focus from them. It is exhausting work, this constant low-level audition for a part you were already supposed to have. Tonight, we are not going to try. In fact, the entire purpose of this journey we are beginning is to release the need to try. We are setting a new intention, a quiet, radical, and deeply healing one. The central question we will explore as you drift towards sleep is this: what if your visibility was never the issue? What if you have never been invisible at all? What if the problem is not a lack of substance in you, but a lack of vision in them? Think about it this way. If someone stands before a masterpiece in a gallery with their eyes closed, does the painting cease to be beautiful? Does its color fade? Do its brush strokes disappear? No. The art remains whole, vibrant, and real, entirely independent of the viewer's inability to see it. The limitation is in the one who is not looking, not in the one who is there to be seen. And so, the intention for this sleep, for this deep restorative process, is not to learn how to become brighter or louder so that they might finally open their eyes. The intention is to separate, once and for all, your inherent, undeniable reality from their failure of vision. We are going to reclaim your own knowing of your own existence. This is not about anger or blame. It is not about making them wrong. It is simply about correcting a fundamental misunderstanding that has caused you so much pain. You have been looking to their eyes for proof that you are real. And tonight, we begin the gentle journey of looking inward for that proof instead, because it has been there all along. Imagine that seat at the family table. For so long, you have felt like a ghost sitting in it. Tonight, I want you to simply feel the chair beneath you. In your mind's eye, feel the solid wood or the soft cushion making contact with your body. Feel your own weight, your own presence in that seat. It is your seat. It has always been your seat. Your presence in it is a fact, not a request. Whether anyone else acknowledges you, whether they pass you the bread, or ask you about your day, is a secondary story. The primary story, the foundational truth, is that you are there. You are solid. You take up space. This is the truth your body has always known, even when your mind became confused by the silence. Your heart beats. Your lungs breathe. You are a living, breathing, solid being of substance and worth. Over the course of this journey together, night after night, we will gently dissolve the old story of the ghost. We will build a sanctuary inside of you, a home where your voice is the most important one, where your feelings are honored without question, and where your presence is the central, celebrated fact. It is a journey of returning to the profound, unshakable truth of yourself. So as you begin to drift, let this one idea be the very first seed planted in the fertile ground of your subconscious. My presence is not up for debate. It is not an opinion. It is a fact. Let your breath deepen around this thought, breathing in a quiet confidence in your own reality, and breathing out the old, heavy exhaustion of trying to prove you are here. There is nothing to prove. There is only you, solid, real, and worthy of being seen, most especially by yourself. Let go of the day. Let go of the conversations. Let go of the faces. And just for tonight, rest in the simple, profound peace of your own existence. You are here. And that is, and has always been, enough. Let's begin by giving a name to this experience, this feeling of being transparent in your own life. Because to name something is to make it real. It is the first step in taking it out of the confusing fog of self-doubt and placing it in front of you, where you can finally look at it clearly. We can call it the ghost effect, or the silent witness, or any name that feels true to you. For our journey together, let's simply call it the ghost. Not a frightening spirit, but a quiet, aching presence that has been living inside you. Naming it doesn't make it more powerful. It makes you more powerful. It is the beginning of telling the truth to yourself, perhaps for the very first time. It is a quiet declaration that says, "This is real. This is happening, and I am not imagining it." So, let's witness this ghost together, with gentleness and without judgment. Think of a recent time it appeared. Picture the scene. Maybe it was around the dinner table, the air filled with chatter. A story is being told. full of energy and laughter, and people are leaning in, connected in the shared narrative. You remember something related, a funny detail, or a similar experience you had. You wait for a small pause, a little opening to add your thought. You find one, and you begin to speak. But as your words enter the space, they seem to possess no weight. Someone else begins talking at the same time, their voice just a little louder, a little more confident, and the entire current of the conversation shifts to them. No one says, "Hold on, let them finish." No one turns to you with an apologetic glance. It is as if your voice was merely a whisper of wind, unheard and unnoted. And there you are, with the rest of your sentence hanging on your lips, the story dissolving in your throat. You feel a familiar, quiet sting. You retreat back into silence, a spectator once more. This is the ghost in action. Or consider the moments of decision-making. Plans are being made for a vacation, or a discussion is happening about a household matter. Opinions are offered, debated, considered. What do you think? They ask one another. The question is passed around the room like a talking stick, from person to person, but it never seems to land in your hands. Your perspective is not sought. Your input is not considered a necessary part of the equation. You are in the room, hearing it all, having thoughts and ideas of your own, but you are functionally absent from the process. To interject would feel like an interruption, an intrusion. And so you stay quiet, agreeing with the final decision, because it's easier than fighting for a voice you're not sure you even have in that space. You learn to swallow your own thoughts. You become a passive observer in the unfolding of your own life. This experience creates a profound and specific kind of loneliness. It is not the loneliness of solitude, which can be peaceful and restorative. It is the loneliness of disconnection. It is the feeling of being an island in the middle of a bustling archipelago, so close to other shores, yet completely unreachable. The deepest human need is to be seen and to belong, and to be consistently overlooked by the very people who form your primary tribe, your family, is a deep, primal wound. It sends a terrifying, subconscious message. You do not belong here. You do not quite fit. Your presence is not essential. And so you begin to feel like a stranger in the one place you are supposed to call home. This is the ache we are naming tonight, the silent sorrow of being unseen by those who are supposed to see you most clearly. It's the confusion of being loved in theory, but dismissed in practice. They might say, "I love you," but their actions, their attention, their gaze says, "I do not see you." And what does this do to a person over time? It teaches you to doubt your own reality. You begin to ask yourself, is what I have to say really that uninteresting? Am I boring? Is there something wrong with me? You start to believe the story their inattention is telling you. You begin to internalize the invisibility. You start becoming the ghost they treat you as. You speak more quietly. You stop offering your stories because you anticipate they won't be heard. You make yourself smaller, physically and energetically, to match the small space you have been given. You learn to live on the margins of conversations, on the periphery of family life. You become an expert at watching, at listening, at knowing everyone else's stories, while your own remains an unread book on the shelf. This is not a failure on your part. It is a survival mechanism. It is the psyche's heartbreakingly intelligent way of adapting to an environment where your full presence is not welcomed. It is less painful to shrink yourself than to constantly offer your full self only to have it ignored. Tonight, as you lie here, breathing in the quiet darkness, we are simply holding a space for this truth. We are bearing witness to the silent ache of it all. We are acknowledging how much strength it has taken for you to simply exist in that space for so long, carrying the weight of this invisible grief. Every time you swallowed a story, every time you smiled through the sting of being ignored, every time you pretended you didn't mind being left out, that took strength. It took resilience. You have been quietly, powerfully enduring. And now, you are quietly, powerfully beginning to heal. There is nothing you need to do right now, but allow this acknowledgement to sink in. Allow yourself to feel the truth of this experience without the usual layer of self-blame. It is not your fault. Let that phrase wash over you as you breathe. It is not your fault. You did not fail to be seen. They failed to see. There's a universe of difference between those two things. And tonight, as you drift toward sleep, you can let go of the heavy burden of trying to understand why. You can let go of the need to fix it. For now, the first and most important step is complete. You have looked directly at the ghost. You have named it. And by naming it, you have separated it from yourself. It is an experience you have had, not the truth of who you are. Rest now. Let your body grow heavy. Let your mind be still. You have done enough for one day. You have told the truth. And in that truth, there is a profound peace waiting for you. Let sleep welcome you into that peace. Now that we have named the ghost and witnessed the quiet ache it carries, let us move into the next essential stage of healing. It is the simple, yet profoundly powerful, act of validation. For so long, you may have wondered if you were making it all up. You may have asked yourself, am I being too sensitive? Am I misinterpreting things? Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe I should just get over it. This is the voice of self-doubt, a natural response that arises when our inner reality is not reflected or affirmed by our external world. When no one else seems to notice the dynamic, you begin to question your own perception. Your experience is constantly being invalidated by the very silence and indifference that causes the pain in the first place. It's a confusing, disorienting loop. So let these words land in the deepest part of your being tonight. Let them be a soothing balm on that wound of confusion. What you have been feeling is real. It is not imagined. The sting of being spoken over, the hollow feeling of being left out of a conversation, the pang of loneliness in a crowded room. These are not exaggerations. They are real and valid emotional responses to a real and painful dynamic. Your feelings are the most honest messengers you have. They are your internal truth tellers, signaling to you when a core need, the need to be seen, heard, and valued, is not being met. To doubt your feelings is to doubt your own truth. And tonight, we stop doubting. We start listening. Think of it like this. If you were to place your hand on a hot stove, your nerves would immediately send a signal of pain to your brain. You would not question that pain. You would not say, "Am I being too sensitive to this heat?" You would accept the pain as a valid and important signal that something is causing you harm, and you would pull your hand away. Emotional pain works in exactly the same way. The ache of being invisible is a signal. It is your emotional system telling you clearly and honestly that the environment you are in is harmful to your sense of self. It is burning away at your sense of worth. Your confusion and self-doubt are not a sign of weakness. They are a symptom of being gaslit by a situation. When a family system operates as if nothing is wrong, while your heart is telling you that something is deeply wrong, it creates a cognitive dissonance that can make you feel like you're losing your mind. You have been living in a house where everyone pretends the temperature is comfortable while you are slowly freezing. Of course, you are confused. Of course, you doubt yourself. Anyone would. So let's honor the truth your feelings have been telling you all along. They are not the problem. They are the brave and persistent guardians of your well-being, trying to get a message to you through all the noise and denial. Let's also honor the quiet strength it has taken for you to simply exist in that space for so long. It requires an immense amount of inner fortitude to show up, day after day, in a place where you feel unseen. It takes a profound resilience to keep your heart open, even just a little, to people who consistently fail to acknowledge its presence. Every holiday you attended, every dinner you sat through, every phone call you made where you felt like you were talking into a void, these were not acts of passivity. They were acts of incredible, quiet endurance. You stayed, you tried, you kept hoping. And that hope, even when it was repeatedly disappointed, is a testament to the strength and love within you. You have been carrying a heavy, invisible weight for years, perhaps even for a lifetime. The weight of unspoken feelings, of swallowed words, of a diminished self. And you have carried it with a grace that no one has acknowledged. So tonight, let us acknowledge it here, in this safe and quiet space. I see how strong you have been. You see how strong you have been. And for now, that is enough. The validation you needed was never going to come from them, because to give it would require them to see the dynamic they are a part of creating. True validation can only come from one place, within. By affirming your own experience, you take back your power. You reclaim your reality. You stop outsourcing the job of validating your feelings to people who are incapable of doing it. You become your own anchor in the storm of confusion. This is a monumental shift. It is the moment you stop looking at them and asking, "Why can't you see me?" And you start looking at yourself and saying, "I see you. I have always seen you, and I will never abandon you again." This internal validation is the foundation upon which all other healing is built. Without it, we are constantly seeking external approval, forever trapped in the cycle of trying to earn our place. But with it, we begin to build a home inside ourselves, a place where we are always, unconditionally welcome. A place where our feelings are honored as sacred guests. So as you relax deeper into the support of your bed, allow this feeling of self-affirmation to spread through your body. Imagine it as a warm, golden light filling your chest, the very space where that hollow ache used to live. Feel this warmth spreading out into your shoulders, releasing the burden of carrying that unspoken pain. Let it flow down your arms and into your hands, the hands that have wanted to reach out but have held back. Let the warmth travel down into your stomach, soothing the knots of anxiety and confusion that have lived there for so long. And let it flow down through your legs and into your feet, grounding you in the solid, unshakable truth of your own experience. Your feelings are real. Your pain is valid. Your strength is immense. There is no need to prove it to anyone anymore. The jury is no longer out. The verdict is in, delivered by the highest authority on your life, you. And the verdict is, you were right all along. Let the profound relief of that truth wash over you. There is no more argument to be had, no more case to be made. There is only a gentle, loving acceptance of what is. Rest in that acceptance. It is a soft place to land. It is the beginning of peace. Let your breath be slow and deep, carrying this newfound sense of inner solidarity into every cell of your being as you drift closer and closer to a deep, restorative sleep. Now that we have validated the reality of your feelings, let's zoom out and look at the larger picture. This is a crucial step because it helps us move from the personal pain of what is wrong with me to the systemic understanding of what role was I given. This is where we normalize your experience. To normalize something is not to say that it is okay or that it doesn't hurt. It is to say that it is understandable within a certain context, and most importantly, that you are not alone in it. The role you were given, the role of the forgotten one, the quiet one, or the ghost, is a surprisingly common one within family systems. It is not a reflection of a personal failing or a lack of inherent worth in you. It is a part that you were assigned to play in a complex, often unconscious family drama. Think of a family as a constellation of stars. Each member has a certain brightness, a certain size, and a certain gravitational pull. Over time, a delicate balance is established. Some stars burn incredibly brightly, demanding a lot of energy and attention. These might be the high achievers, the troublemakers, the chronically ill, or the charismatic centerpieces of the family. Their gravitational pull is so strong that it organizes the entire system around them. Other family members take on roles that support this structure. There is often the caretaker, who orbits everyone, tending to their needs. There might be the scapegoat, who carries the family's shadow and blame. And very often, in a system organized around these high energy roles, there needs to be a counterbalance. There needs to be someone who doesn't demand much, someone who is low maintenance, quiet, and self-sufficient. This is the role of the ghost. You were likely assigned this role not because you were forgettable, but because you were strong enough to handle it. From a young age, perhaps you were perceptive, sensitive, and emotionally intelligent. You could sense the turmoil in the household. You saw how much energy the brighter stars required, and you learned unconsciously that the best way to contribute to the fragile peace of the family was to not need anything, to not add any more demands to an already overloaded system. Your silence was not a sign of emptiness. It was a sign of your deep, intuitive attempt to keep the family system stable. It was, in its own way, an act of love. You became the repository for the family's quiet. In a house full of noise, you became the silent space. You took on the role of being the easy child, the one no one had to worry about. And while this may have brought a certain kind of peace to the family unit, it came at a great cost to you. The cost was your own voice, your own needs, your own vibrant presence. Understanding this allows us to release the heavy burden of self-blame you may have been carrying for years. You did not choose this role. It was handed to you, and you adapted to it with the incredible resilience of a child trying to survive and belong. You did not fail at being seen. You succeeded at the job you were unconsciously given. And you are not alone in this. So many sensitive, thoughtful souls have found themselves in this exact position. All over the world, right now, there are people lying awake in the dark, feeling the exact same ache of invisibility you feel. They are sitting at dinner tables feeling transparent. They are listening to family plans being made without them. They are wondering what is wrong with them. If all of you could see each other, you would realize you are not a scattered few, but a vast and quiet tribe, the tribe of the unseen. Knowing this helps to lift the shame. Your experience is not a strange, isolated pathology. It is a known human dynamic. It is a part of the tapestry of family life, a shadow that is cast when other lights burn too brightly. Releasing the blame you've placed on yourself is a profound act of self-compassion. For so long, you have tried to solve the wrong problem. You have been trying to fix yourself, thinking, if only I were more interesting, if only I were louder, if only I were more like my sibling, then they would see me. You have been operating under the false assumption that you were the one who was deficient. But the problem was never your personality. It was your position. You were positioned in the one place in the constellation where the light didn't shine. It doesn't matter how beautiful a planet is. If it is placed in perpetual shadow, it cannot be seen from a certain angle. You have been trying to generate your own light in a place that was designed to be dark. It is an impossible task. So tonight, let's lay down the tools we have been using to try and fix ourselves. Let go of the need to be more interesting. You are already interesting. You have a rich inner world, full of thoughts, dreams, and observations that are unique and valuable. Let go of the need to be louder. Your quietness is not a flaw. It may be a source of deep wisdom, perception, and calm. Your natural volume is perfect just as it is. Let go of the idea that you are not enough. You have always been enough. You were more than enough. You were so much enough that you were able to hold the silence for an entire family. As you rest here, let this new understanding settle into your bones. It's not about me. It's about the role. It's not about my worth. It's about the system. Feel the shift that this creates inside you. It is a subtle but seismic change. It is the feeling of a great weight being lifted from your shoulders. The weight of personal responsibility for something that was never your fault. You can breathe a little deeper now. You can relax a little more fully. You are not a flawed person who failed to connect. You are a whole person who is placed in a flawed dynamic. This understanding does not magically erase the pain of the past, but it reframes it. It takes the pain out of the chamber of shame and places it in the realm of compassionate understanding. And from this place of understanding, true healing can begin. You are not a ghost. You are a person who was asked to play one. And now, as you drift into sleep, you can begin to feel the old costume of that role starting to loosen. You don't have to wear it tonight. Here, in the safety of your own being, you can simply be yourself, whole, complete, and perfectly visible to the one person who matters most, you. Rest now in this new spacious understanding. Now that we understand the role you were given and have begun to release the self-blame that came with it, we can open the door to a space that may feel tender, but is absolutely essential for healing. We are creating a safe space for you to grieve. Grief is not just for the loss of a person. It is for the loss of a connection, the loss of an experience, the loss of what we needed and deserved, but did not receive. And you have a profound loss to grieve. You are grieving the connection with your family that should have been yours. You are grieving the countless moments of potential intimacy that dissolved into silence. You are grieving the childhood in which you may have felt more like a household appliance, functional, quiet, and unnoticed, than a cherished, essential member. This is a real and significant loss, and it deserves to be mourned. For so long, you may not have even allowed yourself to feel the depth of this sadness. How could you grieve something you were told you already had? How could you mourn a lack of connection in a house full of people? It felt illogical, ungrateful even. And so, the grief was pushed down, buried under a layer of confusion and self-doubt. It may have shown up in other ways, as a persistent, low-grade loneliness, a feeling of being different or disconnected from everyone, or perhaps as a subtle but constant anxiety. Tonight, we give that buried sadness permission to surface, not as a flood that will overwhelm you, but as a gentle, cleansing river. There is no need to force anything. We are simply creating an opening, an invitation for these feelings to flow if they are ready. Let's use an analogy. Imagine that all of your unspoken sorrow, all the little stings of being overlooked, all the moments of quiet heartbreak have been like small stones you've been collecting in your pockets for years. Each time you were ignored, another stone was added. Each time a story was forgotten, another. Each time you felt invisible, another. Over a lifetime, these pockets have become incredibly heavy. They have weighed you down, made you tired, and altered the way you walk through the world. Grief is the process of gently, one by one, taking these stones out of your pockets and setting them down on the riverbank. You don't have to throw them or smash them. You just have to acknowledge them, feel their weight for a moment, and then consciously decide to leave them behind. So as you lie here, in the safety and quiet of this moment, let your mind drift back. Don't search for specific dramatic memories of neglect. Think instead of the texture of the experience, the feeling of it. Remember the feeling in your chest when you realized the conversation had moved on without you. Feel, just for a moment, the familiar heat of shame or the cold pang of disappointment. Acknowledge the deep sigh you didn't let out, the tears you swallowed, the words you held back. Each of these is a stone. See them in your mind's eye. The small, smooth stone of that time you shared a piece of good news, and it was met with a distracted nod. The larger, rougher stone of a holiday where you felt like a complete outsider, a stranger at your own family gathering. The heavy, dense stone of realizing that they don't really know who you are at all. Your passions, your fears, your inner world. They know a version of you, the quiet and easy version, but the real, complex you remains a mystery to them. This is the profound sorrow of being a stranger in your own family. It is a grief for the intimacy that never was. As you bring each of these feelings, these stones to mind, imagine yourself by the bank of a gentle flowing river. The water is calm and clear, moving slowly under a soft moonlight. Take one of the stones from your pocket, hold it in your hand, look at it, say to it, silently, "I see you. I acknowledge the pain you represent." And then, gently, place it on the ground beside you. Then reach for another, and another. There is no rush. This is your sacred process. You are not reliving the trauma. You are bearing witness to the pain. There is a critical difference. When you bear witness, you are doing so from a new place of strength and self-compassion. You are the wise, loving adult self, holding the hand of the younger part of you who endured all of this. You are giving that younger self the acknowledgement it never received from anyone else. You are saying, yes, that was as painful as you thought it was. You were right to feel sad. You were right to feel lonely. With each stone you set down, you may feel a sense of release, a lightness in your body. Your shoulders might relax a little more. Your breath might deepen. This is the physical manifestation of letting go. Allowing these feelings to flow like this gentle river is a cleansing process. The river of your sorrow doesn't sweep you away. It carries the pain away from you. It washes over the wounds, not to erase them, but to clean them so they can begin to heal. You are allowing the sadness to finally complete its journey through you, rather than remaining stuck inside you. Please know that it is okay if tears come. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are the river overflowing its banks. They are the physical release of old, stored-up emotion. Let them flow without judgment if they need to. They are holy water, baptizing you into a new relationship with yourself, one of honesty, tenderness, and acceptance. It is also okay if no tears come. Grief can be quiet. It can be a deep, silent ache in the chest, a profound sense of heaviness. All expressions are valid. The only requirement is to be present and gentle with whatever arises. As you continue to breathe, slowly and deeply, feel yourself becoming lighter. Your pockets are emptying. The burden you have carried for so long is lessening. You are not betraying your family by doing this. You are not being dramatic. You are being honest. You are honoring your own experience. And in doing so, you are reclaiming the parts of yourself that have been frozen in this unprocessed grief. You are creating space inside you for new feelings to grow. Feelings of peace, self-acceptance, and eventually, even joy. Rest now. Let the gentle river continue its work as you drift into sleep. Let it carry away the old sorrows on its current, leaving you lighter, clearer, and more at peace than you have been in a very long time. Sleep is a safe harbor. Let it hold you now. Having allowed the river of grief to begin its gentle flow, we now turn our attention to something that lives right alongside the sadness. It is the quiet, simmering frustration, the deep, unexpressed anger. This is often harder to touch than the sadness, because for many of us, especially those who played the role of the good or quiet one, anger felt forbidden. It was a disruptive emotion, a demand for attention, and our role was to be the opposite of that. So we learned to suppress it, to push it down, to convince ourselves we weren't feeling it, but it has been there all along, a silent, steady hum beneath the surface. Tonight, we will create a safe space to acknowledge and release this frustration, not with an explosion, but with a slow, conscious exhale. Let's begin by acknowledging the immense energy it takes to hold back words you know won't be heard. Think about the thousands of times you have edited yourself in mid-sentence, sensing that no one was listening. Think of the stories you started to tell, full of your own life and experience, only to have them cut off by an interruption about something completely unrelated. Each time this happens, a burst of energetic frustration arises. It's the natural response to being dismissed. Hey, I was talking here. What I have to say matters. But because it felt unsafe or pointless to say that out loud, you swallowed it. That energy didn't just disappear. It got stored in your body. It became a tension in your throat, a tightness in your chest, a clench in your stomach. It is the energy of 1,000 unheard sentences, Consider the sheer frustration of your memory being treated as unreliable or irrelevant. You correct a detail in a family story, saying, "No, I remember, it was a Tuesday," and you are met with a dismissive wave of the hand. "Oh, you're probably mistaken." Your reality, your very perception of past events, is invalidated in an instant. Or you bring up an important conversation from the past, something that deeply affected you, and they look at you with a blank stare. "I don't remember that at all." It's not just that they have forgotten, it's that your experience, your emotional landscape, has left no impression on them. It is profoundly frustrating to feel like your life is being written in invisible ink. All of this stored frustration has a weight. It is heavy. It's the weight of constantly having to justify your own existence, your own memories, your own perspective. It is exhausting. So tonight, we are going to breathe it out. We are not going to scream or rage. We are simply going to use the power of our breath to release this old, stagnant energy. As you lie here, comfortable and relaxed, bring your awareness to your breath. Don't change it at first. Just notice it. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest or your belly. Now, I want you to imagine that with every exhale, you are releasing a little bit of this pent-up frustration. It might not feel like anything dramatic at first. Just hold the intention. With each out-breath, you are letting go of the silence, breathing in peace, and breathing out the weight of 1,000 swallowed words, breathing in calm, and breathing out the sting of being interrupted, breathing in stillness, and breathing out the frustration of being forgotten. Let's make this more tangible. In your mind's eye, picture this frustration as a dark, heavy smoke held within your lungs. It has been there for a very long time. With each exhale, you are now giving it permission to leave your body. You see a thin, gray stream of smoke leaving your mouth with each breath, carrying with it the old anger, the old resentment, the old bitterness. It just drifts away into the air of the room and dissolves into nothingness. It is not harming anyone. It is not being directed at anyone. It is simply being released from your system. Let your exhales become a little longer, a little slower. A long, slow, complete release. Feel the tension in your jaw beginning to soften as you do this. Feel the tightness in your throat beginning to loosen. This is where the unheard words have been held captive. Now you are setting them free, not by speaking them, but by releasing the energy behind them. We are also releasing the need to prove that you are there. This is a subtle but profound shift. So much of the frustration comes from the constant, low-level effort of trying to make your presence known. Leaning forward slightly, trying to find an opening in the conversation, raising your voice just a little, hoping to be heard. It is a battle you have been fighting on a subconscious level every single day. Tonight, you can lay down your arms. You can call a truce. You are releasing the fight. Imagine yourself literally letting go of a rope you have been pulling in a relentless tug of war. Just let it drop from your hands. There is an immediate sense of relief. The struggle is over. You no longer have to expend your precious life force trying to force them to see you. You are breathing out the heavy weight of invisibility, and in its place, you are breathing in the simple, peaceful fact of your own being. This is not about becoming passive or giving up. It is the opposite. It is about conserving your energy for what truly matters, turning that attention and focus back toward yourself. By releasing the frustration, you are clearing the inner landscape. You are taking all the energy that was tied up in anger and resentment and making it available for your own healing, your own growth, your own joy. You are no longer wasting your breath trying to be heard by those who are not listening. Instead, you are using your breath to cleanse your own system, to bring peace to your own heart. Continue with this gentle, intentional breathing. With every exhale, you are letting the silence go. The enforced silence, the frustrated silence, the lonely silence. You are letting it all dissolve into the quiet of the night. Feel your body becoming lighter. Feel your mind becoming clearer. The old hum of frustration is growing fainter and fainter, replaced by a deep, resonant stillness. You are arriving in a place of neutrality, a place of peace. From this place, you are no longer a victim of their inattention. You are simply an observer, detached from the need for a certain outcome. You are present in your own body, in your own breath, and that is enough. Rest now in this newfound quiet, a quiet that is not empty, but full of peace, full of potential, full of you. We have now cleared a significant amount of space within you. We have acknowledged the grief and released the frustration. The inner ground is fertile and ready for a new seed to be planted. This is the part of our journey where we introduce the core shift in perception, the gentle reframing that will change everything. It is a simple truth, but it has the power to dismantle the entire painful structure of feeling invisible. Here is the seed. Their inability to see you is a reflection of their limited vision, not your lack of substance. Let that sink in for a moment, not as a clever phrase, but as a profound truth. All this time, you have been operating under the assumption that the problem was with the object being observed, you. You believed you needed to be brighter, more colorful, more substantial in order to be seen. But we are now turning the camera around. We are examining the lens of the observer. Let's explore this with an analogy. Imagine you are a vibrant, beautiful, and complex painting. You are full of rich colors, intricate details, and deep emotional textures. Your life story, your thoughts, your dreams, they are all there on the canvas, a masterpiece of existence. Now imagine that the people in your family are standing before this painting, but they are looking at it with their eyes closed. They might be standing right in front of it. They might even reach out and touch the frame. They may talk about the painting, saying things like, "Oh yes, that's our painting. We love it." But their eyes are shut. So, what do they actually see? Nothing. A blank darkness. Does their inability to see the painting change the painting itself? Does your color fade because they do not perceive it? Do your intricate details vanish because they are not noticed? Does the profound emotion captured in your brushstrokes disappear? Of course not. The painting's beauty, its substance, its reality remains completely unchanged, whole and intact, whether anyone's eyes are open or closed. The painting's existence is not dependent on being perceived. This has been your reality. You are the painting. Your substance, your worth, your beauty, your complexity, they are all inherent facts. Their closed eyes are their own limitations. Why are their eyes closed? The reasons are numerous and complex, and ultimately, they belong to them, not you. Perhaps their own pain or trauma keeps their eyes squeezed shut, unable to tolerate taking in any more stimulation. Perhaps they are so consumed with their own inner world, their own needs, their own dramas, that they have no capacity left to truly look outward. Perhaps they were never taught how to see another person clearly, their own parents having looked at them with closed eyes. Perhaps they are afraid of what they might see if they truly looked at you. Your pain might reflect their own failures. Your light might make them feel their own dimness. The reasons do not matter as much as the fundamental truth. The limitation is theirs. It is in their perception, not in your reality. This shift is monumental. It frees you from the impossible task of trying to force someone's eyes open. You cannot make them see. You can stand in front of them and shout, "Look at me." You can set yourself on fire, and they might only comment on the warmth. The work is not, and has never been, to change yourself to become more visible. The work is to fully and completely accept the truth of your own canvas, independent of any viewer. You must become the primary admirer of your own art. You must be the one who traces your own lines with loving attention, who marvels at your own colors, who understands the meaning behind your own shadows. When you deeply know and appreciate your own painting, the need for others to validate it begins to fade. Their approval becomes a nice but non-essential bonus, rather than the very source of your sense of reality. Let's plant this seed a little deeper, with a single powerful affirmation that you can carry with you into sleep. Let it be the last thought that echoes in your mind as you drift off. You are not invisible. They are simply not looking. Feel the profound difference. "I am invisible" is a statement about your essence. It suggests a fundamental lack within you. It is a verdict of emptiness. But "they are not looking" is a statement about their action, or lack thereof. It is a description of their behavior. It keeps the reality of your substance completely intact. One is a prison, the other is an observation. And with this observation comes freedom. You are not a ghost. You are a person in a room full of people who are looking at their phones, or at the television, or inward at their own thoughts. You are solid. You are present. You are simply not the current focus of their attention. And while that may still be lonely, it is not a negation of your existence. This reframing is not an act of aggression or blame towards them. It is an act of clarity for you. It is a quiet, internal realignment with the truth. It's like you've been trying to solve a complex math problem with a fundamental error in the first line of the equation. You've been calculating and recalculating for years, always coming up with the same painful answer: "I am not enough." Tonight, we are going back to that first line and correcting it. The equation is not my worth or their attention. The true equation is my worth, a constant. It is inherent. It does not change based on external variables. As you breathe in and out, let this new truth permeate your being. Inhale the reality of your own substance. Exhale the old lie of your invisibility. Feel the ground beneath you. It is solid. Feel the body you inhabit. It is real. Feel the life force within you. It is undeniably present. You are here. You have always been here. The painting has always been on the wall. And tonight, you are finally turning your own loving gaze upon it, perhaps for the very first time. Rest in the beauty of what you see. Having planted the seed of this new perception, that the issue is their vision, not your substance, we now begin to cultivate the inner soil. If you have spent a lifetime looking outside for a home, for a place of recognition and belonging, and found only empty rooms, it is time to stop seeking and start building. We are going to begin the sacred work of constructing your inner home. This is not a metaphor for positive thinking. It is the conscious creation of a dedicated neurological and emotional space inside you, where you are the sole authority, the honored resident, and the cherished guest. This is a place that no one can enter without your permission, and a place from which you can never be evicted. It is your inviolable sanctuary. Let's start with the foundation. The foundation of this inner home is the truth we have just uncovered. I am real. My presence is a fact. Imagine laying down a solid, unshakable foundation of this knowing. It is made of the heaviest, most enduring material in the universe, your own undeniable existence. Feel this foundation settling deep within you, a grounding force in your very core. It is the baseline reality from which everything else will be built. It is the truth your body has always known, the beat of your heart, the rhythm of your breath. On this foundation, we will build the walls. The walls of your inner home are made of gentle, protective boundaries. For so long, your inner space has been wide open, susceptible to the cold winds of others' indifference and dismissal. Their moods, their opinions, their lack of attention, it all blew right through you, leaving you feeling exposed and chilled. These new walls are not aggressive barriers designed to keep everyone out. They are simply there to define your space. They are a declaration that says, "This is me and that is you. My inner peace is my own to protect." Time 2.5s. Imagine these walls being permeable in a way you control. You can open a window to let in the warmth of a genuine connection. You can close it when a cold wind of criticism blows. The walls are simply there to give you choice, to end the helpless feeling of being constantly invaded by others' realities. These walls ensure that their failure to see you stays on their side of the property line. It is their issue, in their yard. It is no longer allowed to trespass into your home and disturb your peace. Within these walls, we can now begin to furnish the rooms. And the central, most important room in this inner home is the listening room. In this room, there is a single, comfortable chair. This is your seat. And in this room, your voice is the only one that truly matters. For your entire life, your voice may have been a whisper in a cacophony of louder, more demanding sounds. But in this sacred space, it is amplified. Your thoughts are not interruptions. They are the main event. Your feelings are not inconvenient. They are honored guests. Your stories are not boring anecdotes. They are the epic poems that decorate the walls. In this inner home, you practice a new kind of listening. You begin to pay attention to your own inner monologue with the same focus and respect you have always wished others would give you. When a quiet thought arises, you don't dismiss it. You lean in. You ask, "What was that? Tell me more." When a subtle feeling flickers in your chest, a little pang of sadness, a spark of excitement, you don't ignore it. You pause. You place a hand on your heart, and you listen. What are you trying to tell me? You become your own best confidant, your own most trusted friend. You give yourself the gift of your own undivided attention. This is a practice. It will feel unfamiliar at first because you have been trained to tune yourself out and tune others in. But with gentle repetition, you will build a strong, new neural pathway. You will literally rewire your brain to prioritize your own inner experience. This inner home is where you celebrate yourself. In the outside world, your accomplishments may have been overlooked, your efforts taken for granted. But in here, You hang your own awards on the walls. You celebrate the quiet victories. You acknowledge the strength it took to get through a difficult day. You honor the courage it took to speak up, even if your words were not received. You become your own source of praise and recognition. You stop waiting for a gold star from anyone else, and you learn to give them to yourself. Your worth is not determined by an external panel of judges. In the sanctuary of your own being, you are the sole judge, and you have already been approved. Let this affirmation settle into the very architecture of this space. In the sanctuary of my own being, I am fully seen and deeply known. Repeat it silently to yourself. Feel the truth of it. In this home, there is no part of you that is hidden in shadow. The parts of you that you thought were too much or not enough for the outside world are all welcome here. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is an instrument of profound perception. Your quietness is not a flaw. It is a source of deep peace. All of your quirks, your passions, your secret dreams, they all have a place here. They are the cherished art, the beloved books, the comfortable furniture that make this house your home. Building this inner home is the most important work you will ever do. Because once this home is built and you are comfortably living within it, what happens outside matters so much less. When someone overlooks you at the dinner table, it is still unpleasant, but it no longer feels like an annihilation of your selfhood. It is merely a cold draft blowing outside your sturdy walls. You can observe it and say, "Ah, there is that old wind again," and then turn your attention back to the warm, peaceful fire burning in your own hearth. You are no longer a homeless soul, begging for scraps of warmth at others' firesides. You have your own. As you drift deeper toward sleep, imagine yourself in this home. See the strong foundation, the protective walls. Walk through the rooms. Take your seat in the listening room. Feel the profound peace and safety of this space. It is yours. It has been waiting for you to build it. And tonight, you have laid the first stones. Sleep now, in the safety of your own inner sanctuary. Rest in the profound comfort of finally, truly being home. Now that you have begun to construct the sanctuary of your inner home, it's time to furnish it with memories of your own substance. For too long, your sense of self may have been defined by the reflection, or lack thereof, you saw in your family's eyes. It's like you've been living in a hall of mirrors where every mirror is warped, showing you a faint, distorted, or incomplete image. You began to believe that this warped image was the truth of who you are. Tonight, we are going to smash those mirrors. We are going to bypass their distorted reflections entirely and reconnect with the direct experience of your own solidity, your own reality. We are going to remember who you are when no one is trying to define you. This is a gentle process of recollection. It is not about proving anything, but simply about gathering evidence for a truth you already intuitively know, that you are a whole, vibrant, and visible person. Let your mind drift back, not to the painful family scenes, but to the other pockets of your life, the other spaces where you felt a sense of yourself. Let's start by recalling moments, people, or places outside your family where you felt seen, heard, and valued. These moments might be small, but they are incredibly powerful. They are like breadcrumbs that lead you back to yourself. Perhaps it was a teacher in school who saw a spark in you. Someone who looked you in the eye when you spoke, who asked you a follow-up question, showing they were genuinely interested in your thoughts. Remember the feeling of that attention. It wasn't a heavy, judgmental scrutiny. It was a light, warm, and welcoming gaze. It was a gaze that said, "I see you. You are interesting to me." Feel that warmth in your body now, just for a moment. That is a reflection of your true substance. Maybe it was a friend, perhaps in childhood or more recently, with whom you could laugh freely. A friend who understood your jokes, who remembered the details of your stories, who called you just to see how you were. Think of a specific conversation. Remember the easy flow of it, the give and take. You didn't have to fight for your turn to speak. The space was given freely, lovingly. In that friendship, you were not a ghost. You were a co-creator of connection. You were an essential part of the dynamic. That person's ability to see you did not magically make you appear. It simply reflected the reality of the person who was already there. Let yourself feel the comfort and ease of that memory. That is the feeling of your own presence being met. Or perhaps it was a moment of competence and recognition at work or in a hobby. A time when your skills were acknowledged, when your contribution made a difference. You completed a project and felt a quiet pride. A colleague thanked you for your help, genuinely and specifically. You were in your element, engaged in something you were good at, and your competence was visible to others. In that context, you were not the quiet one or the forgotten one. You were the one who knows how to fix this, the one with the great idea, the one we can rely on. This too is you. This is a part of your substance. Now let's go even deeper. Let's reconnect with the parts of you that exist independent of anyone's gaze at all. These are perhaps the most crucial pieces of your identity. Think about your own passions, the things that make you feel alive, the subjects you could get lost in for hours. What do you love to read about? What music makes your soul stir? What kind of beauty catches your eye? In nature? In art? In a cityscape? These preferences, these attractions, are the unique signature of your soul. They are not random. They are the expression of who you are at your core. The fact that you love the smell of old books, or the way the light looks in the late afternoon, or the intricate plot of a mystery novel. These things are solid facts about you. They are part of the vibrant color on your canvas. They require no external validation to be real. They are simply, wonderfully, you. Remember the last time you were completely absorbed in one of these passions. Maybe you were gardening, your hands in the soil. Or perhaps you were lost in a piece of music, your mind traveling with the melody. In those moments, were you thinking about whether anyone was watching you? Were you worried about being invisible? No. You were just purely, fully being yourself. You were present, engaged, and alive. That feeling of total absorption is the feeling of your own substance. It is the experience of being so fully you that there is no room for self-doubt. Let's also remember your own thoughts and dreams. For so long, you may have kept them to yourself, assuming no one would be interested. But tonight, in the safety of your inner home, let them come out to play. What are your secret hopes for the future? What ideas are you curious about? What opinions do you hold that you've rarely, if ever, expressed? These are not trivial. They are the architecture of your inner world. They prove that you have a rich, complex, and unique perspective. The fact that others have not asked about this world does not make it any less real. It is a vast and fascinating landscape, and you are its sole inhabitant. You have the map, and tonight you are beginning to explore it again, to remember its terrain. to value its existence. This process of remembering your substance is an act of profound self-love. You are gathering up all the scattered pieces of yourself that you have dismissed or forgotten because they weren't valued by your family system. You are bringing them home. You are reassembling your own mosaic and realizing that it was never broken, just unacknowledged. As you drift towards sleep, let these memories and feelings continue to surface gently. Don't force them. Just create an open, welcoming space for them to arise. A moment of laughter with a friend. The satisfaction of a job well done. The quiet joy of a secret passion. Each memory is a golden thread, and you're weaving them together, creating a beautiful, strong tapestry of your true self. This tapestry is real. It is warm. And tonight, you can wrap yourself in it and rest, secure in the knowledge of your own undeniable, multifaceted, and beautiful substance. We've been gathering the evidence of your substance, remembering the moments and qualities that prove your reality. Now, let's distill all of that down into a single, powerful, and constant inner image. This is something you can return to anytime you feel the old ghost feeling begin to creep in. It will be your inner anchor, your unwavering source of self-knowing. We are going to use a simple but profound analogy, the analogy of an unseen light. I want you to imagine, right in the center of your chest, in the space of your heart, a steady, warm light. It is not a harsh, blinding spotlight, but a soft, gentle, self-sustaining glow, like the flame of a candle in a protected room. This light is your essence. It is your life force, your unique consciousness, the irreducible fact of your being. Take a moment to truly visualize it. What color is this light? Is it a warm golden yellow, a calm healing blue, a soft, loving pink, or perhaps a clear, bright white? There is no wrong answer. Choose the color that feels most like you, most like home. See this light glowing steadily in your chest. It is not flickering. It is not dependent on any external source of power. It does not need to be plugged in. It is self-generated. It has been glowing there since the moment you were born, and it will continue to glow for your entire life. Now, let's explore the most important quality of this light. It glows with the same brightness, whether anyone else acknowledges it or not. Imagine you are in a room full of people. They are all busy, talking, looking at each other, looking at their phones. They are not looking at you. Does your inner light dim because their gaze is elsewhere? No. It continues to glow with its own steady, inherent luminescence. Now imagine one person turns and smiles at you, truly seeing you for a moment. Does your light suddenly flare up and become brighter? No. It was already glowing at its full, natural intensity. The other person's attention did not create the light. It simply noticed the light that was already there. This is a fundamental shift in understanding. Your worth, your essence, your light is inherent. It is not granted to you by external validation. It cannot be diminished by external neglect. It is a constant. The world's attention is like a passing flashlight beam. Sometimes it illuminates you, and sometimes it is pointed elsewhere. But your own inner light is like the sun, always shining, whether the clouds of others' inattention are covering it or not. Understanding this frees you from the exhausting and painful game of chasing the flashlight beam. You stop contorting yourself, trying to get into the light of someone else's approval, because you realize you are the source of your own light. This is the definition of inner peace. Let's deepen this feeling in your body. As you continue to breathe slowly and deeply, imagine that with every inhale, you are breathing energy directly into this light in your chest. The breath is not creating the light, but feeding it, nourishing it, making you more aware of its presence. With each inhale, feel the light grow a little warmer, a little more vivid in your mind's eye. With each exhale, imagine this warm light expanding, its gentle glow spreading from your chest outwards. Feel it spreading up into your throat, filling the space where your voice has been held back, warming it with self-acceptance. Feel it spreading down into your belly, soothing the old knots of anxiety and self-doubt. Feel it radiating out into your shoulders, melting away the tension of trying to prove yourself. Feel the glow travel down your arms and into your hands, and down your legs into your feet, until your entire body is filled with this soft, steady, peaceful light. You are not just a body. You are a body filled with light. You are luminous. Now, let's plant another powerful affirmation deep into your subconscious as you relax. This one is simple and absolute. My presence is a fact, not an opinion. Let that roll through your mind. An opinion is something that can be debated. The weather is nice today is an opinion. You're not very interesting is an opinion. Opinions are external judgments, and they have no bearing on reality. But a fact is an undeniable, objective truth. The earth revolves around the sun is a fact. Water is made of hydrogen, and oxygen is a fact. And I am here in this bed, breathing, is a fact. Your existence is not up for discussion. It is not a proposal that requires a committee's approval. It is a non-negotiable reality. When you begin to treat your own presence with the same certainty as you treat the law of gravity, the need for others to confirm it for you falls away. You would never look to someone else and ask, "Excuse me, do I have permission to be affected by gravity today?" It is simply a given. Your presence, your right to take up space, your intrinsic worth, these are givens. They are the fundamental physics of your being. When you live from this place of knowing, it changes how you move through the world. You are no longer approaching interactions with a silent, desperate plea of, "Please see me." You are entering them with the quiet, calm confidence of, "I am here." This doesn't mean you become arrogant or loud. In fact, it often means the opposite. True confidence is quiet. It has nothing to prove. It is the noisy, insecure person who is constantly trying to establish their presence. The person who is grounded in their own inner light can afford to be generous, to listen well, to be still, because they are not threatened by the presence of others. They are not in competition for a limited supply of visibility. They are lit from within. So, as you drift closer to the edge of sleep, hold this image of the warm, steady light in your chest. It is your truth. It is your essence. It is the constant, unwavering proof of your own being. Let its gentle warmth be the last sensation you feel as you let go of the day. There is no need to strive for visibility anymore. You are, and have always been, luminous. Rest now in the safety and the certainty of your own beautiful inner light. We have traveled a significant distance on this inner journey. We have named the ghost, validated the pain, understood the role, grieved the loss, released the frustration, and reframed the entire dynamic by igniting the awareness of your own inner light. Now, we move into a crucial phase of integration. It is one thing to understand these ideas with your conscious mind. It is another, far more powerful thing to have them land in the deep wisdom of your body. Your body has been the silent keeper of this entire story. It is where the tension of being unseen has been stored, where the grief has been held, where the frustration has simmered. And so, it must also be the place where the new truth is received and made real. Tonight, we will allow the new truth, I am solid, I am real, I am here, to settle deep into your body, not as a thought, but as a felt sensation. We are weaving this knowing into your very cells as you relax deeper and deeper. Let's begin by bringing your awareness to the simple, undeniable fact of your physical presence. Start with the sensation of contact. Feel the parts of your body that are touching the surface beneath you. Notice the weight of your head on the pillow, the press of your shoulders into the mattress, the heaviness of your hips, the contact of your heels. Don't just think about it. Truly feel it. Gravity is holding you. The bed is holding you. These are physical facts. They are proof of your substance. A ghost would feel nothing. A ghost has no weight, but you do. You have mass. You occupy space. Allow yourself to really sink into that sensation of weight. Let it be a comfort. It is your anchor to reality. It is the first and most fundamental declaration that you are here. Now bring your attention to the interior of your body. Start with your breath. Follow the journey of one full breath. From the moment the air enters your nostrils, cool and fresh, to the way it fills your lungs, expanding your chest or your belly. And then follow the exhale, the gentle release, the feeling of the air leaving your body, warmer now than when it entered. This is the rhythm of life itself, happening right inside you. It is an automatic, powerful, and constant process. It is the engine of your being. A ghost does not breathe, but you do. Each breath is a testament to your aliveness, your vitality. Stay with your breath for a few moments. Feel its steady, reassuring rhythm. It is the music of your own existence playing softly in the background of every moment. With each inhale, breathe in the thought, I am. With each exhale, breathe out the feeling, here. I am. Here. I am. Here. Let this simple mantra sink with your breath, carrying the truth of your presence deeper and deeper into your system. Let's continue this journey of embodiment. Bring your awareness to the feeling of your own skin. Notice the temperature of the air on your face or your hands. Feel the texture of the blankets against your legs. Your skin is the boundary between you and the rest of the world. It is a vast, intelligent organ, constantly communicating with your environment. It is the container of you. A ghost has no container. It is diffuse, transparent. But you have a clear, defined boundary. You are contained. You are whole. Feel into the reality of this container, this vessel of your life. It is your home in this world, and it is undeniably real. Now, travel even deeper within. See if you can feel the faint, steady beat of your heart. You don't need to press on your wrist or your neck. Just bring your quiet, focused attention to your chest and listen inward. You may not feel it as a dramatic thump, but perhaps as a subtle pulse, a gentle vibration deep inside. This is the drumbeat of your life. It has been beating for you every second of every day, without fail. It is the most profound proof of your reality. It is pure life force. A ghost has no heartbeat, but your heart is beating right now, a steady, powerful rhythm that declares to the universe, I am alive, I am here, I am real. As you lie here, feeling your weight, your breath, and your heartbeat, you are bypassing the doubting, analytical mind and speaking directly to your nervous system. Your nervous system has been operating for years, under a state of low-level threat, the threat of erasure, of non-existence. This has kept you in a subtle state of fight or flight, always braced, always vigilant, always trying to secure your place. These simple acts of bodily awareness are sending your nervous system a new message. They are a deeply soothing signal of safety and reality. The message is, the threat is over. You exist. You are safe in your own being. You can stand down. You can relax. Feel this message of safety spreading through your entire body. Feel your muscles letting go of a tension you didn't even know they were holding. Feel your nerves settling down. This is the physical experience of integration. It is the feeling of your body finally believing the new story your mind is learning to tell. It's a homecoming. Your mind and body are coming back into alignment, both agreeing on the fundamental truth of your existence. This is not a one-time fix. It is a practice, a new way of being. In the days to come, you can return to these sensations anytime you start to feel like a ghost. When you're sitting at that family dinner and the old feeling of invisibility starts to creep in, you can secretly bring your attention to your feet on the floor. Feel their solid contact with the ground. Or you can focus on your breath, feeling its steady rhythm inside you. Or you can place a hand on your own leg, just to feel the solid, warm reality of your own body. These small, secret acts of embodiment will be your anchors. They will keep you grounded in your own truth, even when the environment around you is trying to pull you into the old story of transparency. As sleep begins to wash over you now, let your final awareness be of your body as a whole. Feel yourself as a complete, solid, breathing entity. Not a collection of parts, but a unified, living presence. You are not a ghost. You are a warm, breathing body, resting peacefully in your bed. Let this deep, cellular knowing be the foundation for your rest tonight. Your body knows how to heal. Your body knows the truth. And tonight, you have finally given it permission to believe it. Rest now, deeply and completely, in the undeniable reality of you. Having grounded ourselves in the physical truth of our own being, we now arrive at a pivotal, tender, and deeply transformative moment. We are going to take all the attention we have spent trying to get from others and turn it back toward ourselves. This is the act of reclaiming your own gaze. For your entire life, you have been like a sunflower, craning your neck, desperately trying to follow a distant and unreliable sun for warmth and light. You have contorted yourself, exhausted yourself, always turning outward for the gaze that would make you feel real. Tonight, we gently turn the sunflower's face away from that fickle, external light and show it that it has its own sun within. You are going to give yourself the very thing you have always craved: deep, kind, and unwavering attention. Let's begin by understanding what this kind of attention feels like. It is not the harsh, critical self-scrutiny that you may be used to. That is the voice of the inner critic, a voice that has often internalized the dismissiveness of the outside world. We are not listening to that voice tonight. The gaze we are cultivating is gentle. It is curious. It is infinitely patient. It is the kind of attention a loving grandparent might give to a small child who is excitedly trying to explain something. It is a gaze that says, "I have all the time in the world for you. What you have to say is the most important thing to me right now. I am here. I am listening." Imagine offering that quality of attention to yourself. Imagine the profound healing that can happen when you finally receive the one thing you've been starving for, and you realize you can provide it for yourself. So, let's practice. As you lie here in the quiet darkness, gently turn your awareness inward. Think of it as pointing the camera of your consciousness back at the one who is behind the lens. And just notice, without judgment, what is present within you right now. Is there a feeling of tiredness in your body? Don't just label it tired. Explore it with your gentle gaze. Where is the tiredness? Is it in your eyes, your muscles, your bones? What is its texture? Is it a heavy tiredness, a buzzing tiredness? Just be with the sensation, with a kind curiosity. You are giving your physical state the gift of your full, compassionate attention. Is there an emotion lingering from your day? Perhaps a flicker of sadness, a residue of stress, or a quiet hum of contentment. Don't push it away or try to analyze it. Simply let it be seen. Acknowledge its presence. Ah, hello sadness. I see you are here. Welcome peace. I feel you. By simply noticing and naming your inner state with kindness, you are communicating a powerful message to the deepest parts of yourself. You matter. All of you is welcome here. All of you is worthy of being seen. This is the opposite of how you have been treated, and it is the opposite of how you have likely learned to treat yourself. When you felt unseen by others, you probably learned to ignore yourself too. It was too painful to pay attention to your own loneliness or your own unheard thoughts. It was easier to distract yourself, to numb out, to turn your own gaze away from your inner world. Reclaiming your gaze is the act of reversing that habit. It is a conscious choice to become the primary witness to your own life. This is a quiet, internal promise that you can make to yourself tonight, a vow that can settle into your subconscious as you drift towards sleep. The promise is this: I will never overlook myself again. I will be the first one to notice my own feelings. I will be the first one to listen to my own thoughts. I will be the first one to honor my own needs. My attention is the first and most important attention. My gaze is enough. Let this affirmation settle deep inside you. I am the primary witness to my own life, and my attention is enough. Feel the radical freedom in this statement. It unhooks you from your lifelong dependency on others' validation. It doesn't mean you won't enjoy or desire connection with others anymore, but it changes the foundation of that desire. You will no longer be coming to them from a place of desperate need, like a beggar asking for crumbs of attention. You will be coming from a place of fullness, from your own well-tended inner home, looking to share your light with those who are capable of seeing it and being okay if they are not. Your sense of self will no longer be on the line in every interaction. The stakes become so much lower, and paradoxically, this allows you to be much more relaxed and authentic in your relationships. You no longer have to perform to be seen. You can just be. Think of the immense amount of energy this will free up in your life. All the energy that was consumed by watching, waiting, hoping, and being disappointed can now be reinvested in you. You can use it to explore your passions, to care for your body, to dream your dreams. You become the protagonist in your own story, not a background character in someone else's. You are the one holding the pen, writing your own narrative. As you lie on the cusp of sleep, practice this one last time. Turn your kind gaze toward the part of you that has felt the most invisible for the longest time. For many, this is a younger version of yourself, a little child within who learned to be quiet and not make a fuss. See that child in your mind's eye, and instead of looking away, look directly at him or her with all the love and kindness you can muster, and silently communicate this message. I see you. I have always seen you. I am here now, and I will never leave you again. You are safe. You are loved. You are so seen by me. Feel the healing that happens in that inner connection. It is the closing of a painful, lonely circle. The one who was lost is finally found, not by an external rescuer, but by the wise and loving adult you have become. Rest now in this profound act of self-reclamation. You are held, you are seen, you are known in the safest place in the universe, the loving gaze of your own soul. As we drift now into the final gentle currents that will carry you into sleep, we approach the most effortless part of our journey. We have done the deep work of witnessing, validating, grieving, reframing, and reclaiming. Now, there is nothing left to do but to let go. We are consciously releasing the old identity that has clung to you for so long, the heavy, transparent cloak of the ghost. This is not a forceful act of tearing it off. It is a soft, graceful release, like a leaf letting go of a branch in autumn, knowing it is time. The work has been done, and the release is the natural conclusion. Sleep itself is the great dissolver, the nightly mercy that washes the slate clean. And tonight, we will use its power with intention. As you feel the first waves of drowsiness beginning to wash over you, bring to mind this identity of the ghost. Don't embody it, but see it as a separate thing, a role you have played. See it as a costume that you have been wearing. It might look like a shimmering, translucent outline of your own form, or a cloak made of gray smoke. For years, you believed this costume was your skin. You thought its transparency was your own. But after the journey we have been on, you now know the truth. It was just a role. It was a uniform you were given, and you no longer have to wear it. With a gentle, effortless intention, imagine this ghostly costume beginning to dissolve. It is not being ripped away. It is simply losing its coherence, its form. The quiet of the night is like a gentle solvent, and the old identity is slowly, peacefully breaking apart. See the smoky threads of it unspooling, the translucent fabric thinning out and becoming one with the darkness of the room. There is no struggle. There is no resistance. It is simply letting go. With every slow, deep breath you take, you are assisting in this process. With your inhale, you are breathing in the solid, warm light of your true self, the self we have reconnected with. And with every exhale, you are breathing out the last remnants of the ghost. Feel a sense of lightness beginning to fill your body as the old, heavy identity dissolves. The role of the ghost was not just an idea, it had a weight. It was the weight of being constantly on alert, the weight of unspoken words, the weight of unmet needs. It was the heavy, exhausting effort of trying to be seen. As it dissolves, this weight is lifted. Feel your shoulders sinking deeper into the mattress, free from the burden of that role. Feel your chest opening, no longer constricted by the need to hold yourself in. Feel your entire being becoming more spacious, more at ease. You are not losing a part of yourself. You are losing a burden that was never truly yours to carry. Time 2.0. A crucial part of this release is knowing that you do not have to pick it up in the morning. So often, we go to sleep, and in the morning, we unconsciously put on the same old identities before our feet even hit the floor. We put on the worrier, the caretaker, the overachiever. And you have been putting on the the ghost. Tonight, you are making a quiet, subconscious decision to leave that costume on the floor. When you wake, you will not reach for it. You will wake up as just you, solid, present, and grounded in your own being. Imagine your morning. See yourself waking and feeling the simple, solid reality of your body in your bed. You feel the warmth of the blankets. You hear the sounds of the morning. And your first thought is not about how you will navigate the family dynamic, but a simple, I am here. You are waking up free of the old job description. Your only job now is to be present with yourself, to carry that gentle inner gaze with you into the light of a new day. As you feel yourself drifting, getting closer and closer to that beautiful threshold of sleep, feel how the need for their approval is fading away. This need was the glue that held the ghost costume together. It was the desperate hope that if I just play this role well enough, if I'm quiet enough, if I don't cause any trouble, then eventually they will see me and love me. This hope, while born of a beautiful and innocent desire for connection, has been the source of your deepest pain. It has kept you locked in the role, waiting for a reward that was never going to come. Tonight, you are releasing that hope, not with cynicism or bitterness, but with a gentle, compassionate wisdom. You are accepting the reality that the approval you seek cannot be given by them, and you are realizing that you no longer need it because you have finally learned how to give it to yourself. The desperate search is over. The approval has been found right where it has always been, inside your own heart. As the need for their approval fades, a deep peace takes its place. It is the peace of no longer trying, the peace of no longer performing, the peace of no longer waiting. It is the profound peace of just being. You are becoming more and more present in your own peaceful space, this inner home we have built. The outside world, with all its noise and its demands and its blind spots, is growing more and more distant. The only thing that is real right now is the feeling of your own breath, the comfort of your bed, and the deep, quiet knowing of your own solid presence. You are drifting now on a calm sea. The old story is a distant shoreline, getting smaller and smaller behind you. You don't have to look back. There's nothing there for you. You are floating toward the horizon of a new day, a new way of being, lighter, freer, more fully yourself than ever before. Let the last conscious thought you have be one of simple, grateful release. I let it go. And then, let go of even that thought. Let go of everything. Allow the kind, gentle waves of sleep to take you completely. There is nothing more to do, nowhere else to be. Just this peaceful, effortless drift into deep, restorative rest. You are drifting now in that beautiful, liminal space between wakefulness and sleep. The conscious mind is letting go, becoming soft and porous, ready to receive the gentlest of whispers. There's no more work to do, no more concepts to understand. This is simply a time for the truths we have uncovered to wash over you like a warm, gentle tide, sinking deep into the soil of your being as you rest. These are soft, slow reminders, whispers of wholeness for your soul to carry into the deepest realms of sleep. Let the words become softer, slower, less important than the feeling they evoke. Just allow the peaceful resonance of each phrase to settle over you. You are whole. You have always been whole. From the very first moment of your existence, you were a complete and perfect being. Nothing that happened, nothing that was said, and nothing that was left unsaid could ever diminish that wholeness. Your wholeness is not a goal to be achieved. It is your fundamental nature. It is the truth of you. Rest in that wholeness now. You are complete. There is nothing missing. For so long, you felt that a piece of you was absent, the piece that would be filled by their recognition. But you were never a puzzle with a missing piece. You are a finished masterpiece. You are complete, just as you are in this very moment. Let the feeling of completeness wrap around you like the blankets you are under. You need nothing from anyone to be fully you. You have always been here. You were never invisible. You were never a ghost. You were a solid, breathing, feeling presence, even when you were the only one who knew it. Your presence is a constant, an unwavering fact in a changing world. Feel the deep, quiet certainty of your own being. You are here. You have always been here. Sleep is coming now, like a soft, velvet blanket. It is being drawn up over you, tucking you in with infinite tenderness. This blanket is woven with the threads of your own undeniable existence. It is a blanket of safety, of peace, of self-acceptance. Feel its gentle weight, its comforting warmth. It is the feeling of being held securely in your own truth. There is no safer place to be. Every cell in your body is receiving this message of safety. The old alarm system, the hypervigilance of waiting to be seen, is finally standing down. It is finally resting. Your entire nervous system is sighing in relief, letting go into a state of profound calm. You are safe. You are sound. You are secure in your own being. Let your breath be the gentle rhythm that carries you deeper. Each breath is a soft wave, washing away the last remnants of the old story. Each breath is a quiet lullaby, sung by your own body to your own soul. There is nothing to hold on to anymore, nothing to figure out, nothing to remember. All that is needed is to surrender to this gentle, downward drift. You are floating on a peaceful river, and the river knows exactly where it is going. It is flowing toward the deep, quiet ocean of restorative sleep, and you can trust its current completely. Let go of the oars. Let go of the need to steer. Just allow yourself to be carried. You are worthy. Your worth is not earned. It is not conditional. It is not a reward for being seen or approved of. Your worth is inherent, like the light within the sun. It simply is. It has always been. Sleep now, in the deep and abiding peace of your own infinite worth. You are so much more than a role in a family drama. You are a universe of thoughts, feelings, and dreams. You are a being of light and substance, and tonight you are coming home to the truth of who you really are. The words are fading now. The images are softening. All that is left is a feeling of deep peace, a feeling of profound rightness, a feeling of being gently, lovingly held. Let this feeling be your final companion as you cross the threshold into sleep. It will stay with you through the night, a silent guardian, ensuring your rest is deep and your healing is complete. Rest now. Let go. Sleep. The soft blanket is all around you, safe, warm, whole, and so deeply, deeply at peace. There is nothing more to do now, nowhere else to be. The journey of thoughts and words has reached its gentle end, leaving only the profound stillness that lies beneath. Your only task now is to rest in this stillness, to allow the body to enter its deepest state of healing and restoration. Let your breathing be your only anchor, a slow, deep rhythm that pulls you down into the softest, most peaceful depths of sleep. Breathing in calm and breathing out any last trace of tension. Breathing in peace and breathing out the old tired story. There is no effort required. Sleep is not something you must achieve. It is a grace you allow to unfold. It is here for you now. It has been waiting patiently. As you drift in this final quiet space, perhaps a few gentle questions can float by, not to be answered, but simply to be observed, like soft clouds passing in a vast, open sky. What becomes possible when you no longer need to spend your energy trying to be seen? What new life, what new creativity, what new joy might have the space to grow now that the old struggle is over? There is no need to know the answers. The seeds of these possibilities are being planted in the fertile ground of your deep sleep, ready to sprout in their own perfect time. What if the greatest gift of this painful experience was the journey it prompted you to take? The journey inward, back to yourself? What if the closed eyes of others were the very thing that forced you, finally, to open your own? Perhaps the ultimate form of being seen is not when another's gaze falls upon you, but when your own soul finally turns to look at itself with unconditional love. Maybe this is the homecoming we are all searching for, in all our varied and beautiful ways. To be fully, deeply, and lovingly witnessed by the one presence that will never leave us, yourself. This is the profound peace that awaits you now, in the heart of this deep and healing sleep. The peace of being seen by your own soul. It is a peace that passes all understanding, a quiet that holds everything. So rest now. Rest in the quiet certainty of your own being. Let go completely, allowing the mind to become still, the body to become heavy, and the spirit to be free. Sleep is a natural current, and it is carrying you now. Sleep is here. It is safe to let go. It is safe to rest. Rest now in the profound peace of being seen by your own soul. Sleep comes naturally. Sleep is here.